Maria, piena di grazia, il Signore è con te. Tu sei benedetta fra le donne e benedetto il frutto del tuo seno, Gesù.
Santa Maria, Madre di Dio, prega per noi peccatori.
La Madonna di Divino Amore.
Signore.
Every Saturday evening at midnight from Easter to October, pilgrims, both newcomers and frequent attendees, come to carry this icon. Together they embark on a 10-mile walk by candlelight that begins at Piazza di Porta Capena near the Circus Maximus, goes on the Via Appia past the catacombs, and then follows the Via Ardeatina until arriving at the Divino Amore, or Divine Love Shrine, on the periphery of the city. This particular evening is special for two events that coincide on the same date this year. Pentecost Sunday and the anniversary of the 1944 liberation of Rome from Nazi Germany by the Allied forces during the Second World War. Many Romans attribute this moment to the intercession of Our Lady of Divine Love, who is known by yet another title, the Savior of Rome. At the end of the 4-hour journey, the group enters the new church at the shrine to celebrate Mass at 5 a.m. The icon at the same time returns safely to its home at the old sanctuary on top of the hill. In the crypt and within the sanctuary's foundations is a key location. Here, beyond these gates, lies the tomb of Luigi Beltrame Quattrocchi and Maria Corsini, patrons of the 10th World Meeting of Families in Rome. Cardinal Enrico Feroci, rector of the sanctuary, shares why the beatified couple were placed here for eternal rest.
The message I would like to send: Mary is the one who gave us peace, which is Christ himself. So families are the ones who must, in the love they show one another, be bearers of peace. Blessed Luigi and Maria Beltrame Quattrocchi were also buried here because they wanted to be buried here, precisely under the protection of Mary, because their lives were protected, were directed by the example and image of Mary, the mother of Jesus, the bride of Joseph. Luigi and Maria were an example of an extraordinary relationship between a man and a woman, husband and wife, father and mother, but in the ordinary, everyday life. They lived their lives as man and woman. He was a lawyer, she was a writer. She wrote many books. And by giving their lives to each other and through their love-giving life to their children, whom they raised in awe and love for the Lord.
During this special period, the Church is lifting Blessed Luigi and Blessed Maria up to the world stage as an example of a faith-filled marriage and the good that they did in society. Stay with us after the break as we retrace their footsteps back to Rome and the Vatican to uncover their story and its relevance today.
knäller vi när vi går in i kyrkan? Varför brukar vi vevan? Tränger vi preken egentligen? Vad betyder en röd lampa vid sidan av tabernaklet? På detta och på många andra spörsmål ska jag pröva att finna svar i min nya serie på YouTube och Facebook. Någon sekunder om kyrkans under kommer snart. Vi ses!
On Tuesday, May the 31st, at the Holy See Press Office, a letter was presented on behalf of Cardinal Angelo De Donatis, the Vicar General of the Diocese of Rome, that announced that Luigi Beltrame Quattrocchi and Maria Corsini would be the patron saints of the 10th World Meeting of Families. Luigi and Maria's witness as patron saints of the event is well suited, as they were the first couple to be beatified together in 2001. According to Pope St. John Paul II, they lived an ordinary life in an extraordinary way. This topic was the main theme during a summit at the Pontifical University of the Holy Cross in Rome on May the 26th, 2022, focused on sanctity of marriage and family.
This theme has been highlighted in evidence by at least two popes. First, St. John Paul II in his apostolic letter at the beginning of the new millennium, in which he used the expression "from high measure of ordinary Christian life." And then Pope Francis in Gaudete et Ascoltate, when he wrote about that beautiful image of the saints next door.
The panel featured experts on the lives of several couples from around the world who had lived with sanctity. Luigi and Maria headlined the list. Cardinal Marcello Semeraro, prefect of the Congregation for the Causes of Saints and the event's keynote speaker, presented on the call to holiness and listened attentively to each account of these holy couples.
These are the couples that make the expression fusion of spirits very clear. In this conference, both the chairperson and I made reference to the wedding feast at Cana. In marriage, this very miracle of transformation happens. It is the growing, flowering, blossoming of a new unity, and these are very important signs of the response to the call of the Lord.
In helping convey the seriousness of these vows, Luigi and Maria were among the first to advocate for marriage preparation classes. Today, Catholic parishes around the world almost universally expect couples to take these courses. At Rome's Church of San Salvatore in Lauro, the church's pastor, Msgr Pietro Bongiovanni, leads marriage preparation courses for couples. He explains the nature of the marriage commitment so that through it we can better understand the yes made by Luigi and Maria.
A man takes a woman, and with this woman he makes a life project that does not allow other intrusions. The sacrament is founded on the fidelity of a yes that is said between a man and a woman, between a woman and a man, for life. This exclusivity involves maturity and faith, because you do it before God, and you do it as a mature person, aware of the responsibilities you take on. In the marriage liturgy, it says, "I welcome you," not "I take you." I welcome, meaning I bring you into my life so that you may be a part of my existence. You become one with me, and I become one with you. You are realized in me, and I am realized in you. This is under the gaze of God, who is the power of absolute love, and from Him comes love itself. The marriage preparation journey must bring out these elements in a culture that has now dispersed itself of the fundamental values of faith.
Don Pietro goes on to say that husband and wife find true reciprocity in a loving relationship when they encounter the cross, namely those difficulties in life that only sacrificial love can overcome.
We have a society that is destroying everything, right down to the root. It destroys the dignity of the person, it destroys relationships, it destroys love, it destroys the family.
Non perdere mai.
Never lose the beautiful spirit of complicity, because you can have the children, you can have anything you want, but the relationship between the man and the woman should remain fresh. A relationship that knows every day to bless the Lord, to maintain that mutual gift of love and keep it vibrant.
Vivace.
Luigi and Maria made their sacramental marriage vows at the Papal Basilica of St. Mary Major in the heart of Rome on November the 25th, 1905. A plaque in the Cesi Chapel on the left side of the basilica commemorates the place and date of their wedding. In the following years, they welcomed 4 children: Filippo, Stefania, Cesare, and Enriqueta. The children grew up in the faith and carried it into adulthood, with 3 of the 4 entering religious life. Filippo, the eldest, became a Benedictine monk. Stefania entered a Benedictine monastery in Milan. Cesare became a Trappist. During World War I, the Beltrame Quattrocchi couple assisted the wounded and families in need. Luigi worked in the Christian revival movement, and Maria wrote books, served as a catechist, and was a national counselor for Catholic Action. Together, they were also instrumental in founding the Scouts of Italy. Luigi and Maria attended daily Mass and began a family ministry in Rome. They also provided financial support for young men who wished to become priests, with their house always serving as a meeting point for those who wished to deepen their faith.
Welcome to the Beltrame Quattrocchi house. This is the doorway where people who needed their help have passed through over time.
Inside the Beltrame Quattrocchi house, where Luigi and Maria raised their 4 children, we meet their great-grandson, Francesco Beltrame Quattrocchi. He was originally descended from a cousin of Luigi, but later was legally adopted by Enriqueta in February of 2010. On occasion, Francesco and other family members welcome individuals and groups into the home, just as Luigi and Maria did in their time. Visitors today can enter into contact with their memory and get a feel for being one of the family.
This is the heart of the house, and this is the table where normally the family ate, gathered, and where they offered hospitality to guests and people who happened to stay with them. You see several photographs throughout the room. That is the copy of Luigi's portrait. The original is at the State Attorney General's office because he held the position of Deputy Attorney General of the state. Here is a picture of Maria. Also of interest is their wedding day. This is the day that Luigi and Maria got married. This photograph is one that probably has circulated the most. And other things. Here you see things from the home and the day that the beatification took place in St. Peter's, October 21st, 2001. Their 2 sons, who are priests, had the privilege to concelebrate the beatification of their parents. This is Luigi and Maria's room. This particular bed is the one where Enriqueta later left this world. Maria was a writer of books, especially aimed at the education of children. She started writing early as a mother because she and Luigi felt motivated in raising their children the best they could. These are the volumes that she published during her lifetime. I really like this photograph because it shows all the affection in Luigi's late life towards his wife, towards his lifelong companion. He pins an Edelweiss on her, as if she were still the little girl he met when he was 20 years old. But this captured moment is from the year before he died.
Luigi and Maria live on in the pictures decorating every wall of the house. It wasn't without risk, though, especially during World War II, when Nazi Germany took control of Rome.
This house was a refuge after the Italian armistice of September 8, 1943, for about 80 persecuted people, starting with the communist political descendants and those who were persecuted because of race, Jews and others, etc. They would send them one at a time dressed as monks. The system was called the late vocation system, and it was a voluntary act of the family, which was very risky because we have the Ministry of the Interior right in front of the house. If they were discovered, they would all be shot immediately. It is now Italian, but at that time it was the headquarters of the Nazi General Command. The family acted just like a biological cell working in synergy to help these people. The police brought me the documents that show that Don Tarcisio and Don Polino, their two sons, were agents of the OSS, Office of Secret Services, which was the forerunner of the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency in the United States.
The Central Intelligence Agency for US.
The father and mother had great complicity in seeing this situation. They saw that there was no need for their children to be a part of this. They could have left themselves out of it, in fact, but their parents had trained them to help their neighbor.
Looking at the darkness and obstacles that the family had to overcome, Francesco continues to share some insights as to how others can face trials while maintaining confidence in Jesus.
They elected prayer as a daily moment. A prayer, an Ave Maria, an Our Father, a thought on small actions, this fidelity in the smallest things. And being faithful also meant asking for small things, because our faith requires this of us, and they did not take it for granted when it was given.
Before leaving the house, Francesco shows one final space.
In this part of the house, more recently in 1977, after Luigi and Maria had already passed away, the children, by then he had passed away in 51, Luigi, and in 65, the mother, decided to dedicate this room of the house and consecrate it as a small chapel. And in this small chapel, Don Tarcisio, who had his own room next door, celebrated daily Mass. Here, above the tabernacle, are the relics ex ossibus of Luigi and Maria, who are, as we have said, buried at the Shrine of Divine Love, which is venerated by the Romans and is at the center of their hearts.
graces that have poured out of the Beltrame Quattrocchi house and from the Holy Family through the icon of the Madonna di Divino Amore makes them a fitting match for each other. We meet with pilgrims who have come from near and far to ask them what brings them here and what it means to have the blessed couple buried here. Lay Franciscans comprise one local group that came to visit. Their community takes its name from Blessed Luigi and Maria.
It is a great honor. They were a family, spouses, who did so much for the sanctuary of divine love. A family union that was so integrated into the nascent community, and they were the foundation of that. They gave this message: you can be a holy Christian even as a layperson. They are an important proof, a great example for us.
The figure of Luigi and Maria Beltrame Quattrocchi Orsini allow us to gain clarity in our values and Christian life. And they allow us to dispel those facets that are contrary to our vocation or that in some way limit us. They, by their example, allow us to put God at the center and from there start again to live out our vocation to holiness.
I beati Luigi e Maria hanno affidato.
Blessed Luigi and Maria entrusted their children to Our Lady of Divine Love, and all of the children lived the faith and received special graces. And this is the great message of this devotion to Our Lady, to entrust oneself to her as to a mother. They did this as a couple, and they did it here at Divine Love.
The sense of fidelity to Jesus through Mary still permeates the shrine as it did in Blessed Luigi and Maria's time. The shrine dates back to the 14th century when a medieval fortress, Castel di Leva, was standing here.
It was put there in 1337, when there was no pope in Rome. He was in Avignon, and families were fighting each other. To make peace, they put this image on the outside of the castle walls, and in 1337, in the city of Velletri, a peace deal was signed between the families. For so many centuries, it was almost hidden. But then in 1740, she manifested her first sign. The story goes that a pilgrim, wayfarer, priest, shepherd, it's not really known who he was passing through these parts, keeping in mind that the area was not as pleasant as it is now, but it was a marshy area. The journey between southern and northern Italy passed through these parts and under this castle. The pilgrim, or wayfarer, was attacked by a pack of dogs. And as this was happening, he looked up at this image that was placed on the tower. He shouted thanks to the Madonna, and the dogs suddenly stopped. This gesture by the Madonna was so felt and heard that it was told in all parts, and from that moment on, people have been flocking to this place.
In more recent memory, while Nazi Germany occupied Rome during the Second World War, the icon's presence in the city consoled the faithful during difficulties. Among the people would have been Blessed Luigi and Maria.
On June 4th, 1944, the image of Our Lady was brought to the city and was then placed in the Church of St. Ignatius. Pope Pius XII wanted a vow to be made before her image to ask for the safety of the city of Rome. And after the petition was made, suddenly the German troops moved away and the American troops entered without a shot. Pope Pius XII declared her to be the savior of the city of Rome on June 4th. So every year we have a ceremony.
Cardinal Enrico Feroci's account of the shrine's history reminds us that Divino Amore is not only a place of peace, but also of hope. This is Cristobal Miguel Gomez Gutierrez. He recently walked the 15-kilometer pilgrimage from Rome to here. And what brings him back each time is his personal devotion to Blessed Luigi Beltrame Quattrocchi and Blessed Maria Corsini.
I always has been passionate about saint-married couples. So when at some point I decided to quit my job as a lawyer in an authority in my country and decided to move to Rome to do some studies and entrepreneurial path, I knew that this had to be an obliged stop to do. He also is a lawyer. He also has this vocation to a family, and this is something that really needs to be more known.
As others have, Cristobal finds inspiration in Luigi and Maria's everyday spirituality, but he takes it a step further and points to the future and our ultimate goal, to be saints in union with God in heaven.
Not many people know that lay people can become saints. Why do I come here to the Divino Amore is my family. I realized that I came here for my present family, but also for my future family. I think it's the first catechesis place where we can learn about Christ and his path. So family is what brought me here.
The tomb of Blessed Luigi Beltrame Quattrocchi and Blessed Maria Corsini has been moved temporarily to the Vatican for the 10th World Meeting of Families. The hope for this meeting is that people discover or renew their vocation to marriage and family, and that they live it every day within the greater context of the call to holiness, just as Blessed Luigi and Maria did. Even after this international gathering, pilgrims are welcome to continue seeking the intercession of this blessed couple, whether that be through a simple prayer at home or on pilgrimage to the Eternal City and the Shrine of Divine Love.